Hey, Simon Says Movies, and this is Horror Globe Review number 6. Hi guys, it's been a while, a bit of a gap from the first 5 that I did, but I am following this up with Evil Dead 2. Last one was Friday the 13th 2, so I went for part 2 Evil Dead. I thought doing the first one was, again, a bit too obvious. Fantastic movie. Hadn't watched it in a while, just finished watching it just now, and just so good. Made in 1987 by Sam Raimi, starring Bruce Campbell and Sarah Berry, amongst others. I just forgot how good it was. A strange premise. It's the one that a lot of people thought it was a remake of the first one, but it wasn't. They filmed this whole scene at the beginning because they couldn't use any footage to do a flashback scene from the original because it was made by two different companies. They refilmed stuff and almost to bring it back up to speed. Although the way it was done, it did make it look like Ash had been stupid enough to go back to the cabin again, but that's not the case. I haven't watched it again there now. The first 15 minutes, the opening 15 minutes, must be one of the best opening sequences to, I was going to say any horror movie, but possibly any movie, really. Well up there with some of the greats. It's just a fantastic opening 15 minutes. One of these ones that if the first 15 minutes can't make you watch the rest of the movie, then I don't know what could. Just brilliant cinematography. The way it's shot is just tremendous. And even the scene from that recreates the first one, the camera shot going right through the woods, right through the cabin, out the other side, and then hitting Bruce Campbell and taking him what appears to be right the way through the entire woods, is just an incredibly good shot. Very simple by today's standards, but just really effective. The basic premise of this one is that Bruce Campbell's character Ash is in the cabin, and unknown to him, there is a woman and her partner. The woman's mum and dad actually own the cabin, so she's heading up there thinking they're there, to basically help her father to decipher the pages for the Book of the Dead, to see if another world exists. And by the time they get there, Bruce Campbell's already at his wit's end, and they think that he's done something to the parents, so they knock him out and they end up throwing him in the cellar, only to discover that the mother has been buried in the cellar and comes back as one of the demons, which is just absolute genius. I also discovered that the mother is actually played by Sam Raimi's brother Ted, which I didn't know. But the whole film is just a constant stream of effects and gags. It's quite incredible. Obviously famed, as is the first one, for Sam Raimi's use of stop motion. But there's physical effects in there. There's practical effects. There's even effects just down to simple acting. Like the whole scene with Bruce Campbell and his hand being possessed is purely down to his acting and nothing more. And he really does really well portray this whole concept of his hand being completely separate from the rest of his body because it's been possessed. It's just amazing. And the scene in the kitchen where he actually makes himself somersault and he's punching himself, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So once the other people are there, it kind of just spirals out, and Ash, he becomes possessed again, and then once he sort of shakes that off for a second time, he decides he's going to finish things off. So he obviously by this time he's lost the hand, so he replaces the missed hand with the chainsaw, and he's got the shotgun on his back, which then leads to him getting the famous one-liner "groovy," which is brilliant. I also discovered another cameo in it right at the end, which obviously the end of this one leads straight into Army of Darkness. The knight at the end that hails Ash and gives a little speech is actually Sam Raimi, which I didn't notice until watching it this time. But just a fantastic film. I forgot how good it was. Possibly even better than the first one. I would have to go back again and watch the first one. But yeah, definitely one of the great sequels, that's for sure. Just a brilliant movie, and if you haven't seen it, you have to. I mean, that's it, coming up on 26. Yeah, 26 years old now. Does show its age a bit, I suppose, but there you go. I always thought that the use of stop motion was a bit odd, but it does work. There's no doubt about it. The version I have, the Blu-ray I have, special edition, which I got for a trade with Film Game Junkies, is really good. I just started to watch the documentary on here, which, I mean, it's great when you discover this on disc like this, that the Swallowed Souls documentary on here, though it doesn't tell you, it's a feature-length one. It's an hour and 40 minutes long. It's longer than the actual movie, which is excellent. Just really interesting to watch it and find out, how they went about it. It turns out it was actually Stephen King had a lot to do with getting I think it was the production company that made Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. He convinced them to finance Evil Dead 2 because he's a huge fan, which I didn't know. So that was an interesting fact. But anyway, guys, if you have it or you don't have it, pick it up, find it somewhere, and do yourself a favour and sit down again and watch The Evil Dead 2, because it's just a piece of genius. It really is. And I can only keep my fingers crossed that Sam Raimi and probably his brother and Bruce Campbell one of these days get round to making another one, because I think it would be something pretty special. So that's me, guys, and I'll be back with another review soon. Goodbye.